What's up guys, Chartsmith here, back again with a new video, and in this video we're gonna take a look at the crypto coin FF, or by full name Falcon Finance. This one got hit pretty hard on the crash last Friday, but it also recovered pretty hard, so maybe there are some opportunities to go and trade higher on this coin. So that is why I wanted to make a video about this. So if you want to be updated on this coin, make sure to watch until the end or join the free Discord community down below, because in there we are giving daily market updates on the crypto space. So if you're interested in that, make sure to join it. It's completely free and the link is down below in the description, and I hope to see you in there. Right now, let's get into our analysis. Because Falcon Finance is a pretty new coin, and especially on the Binance chart, we can see that when it got listed on Binance, it just dropped lower. This means that people weren't ready to pay this price on Falcon Finance, and we needed to go lower and make it interesting to buy up again. Because there's not a whole lot of price data, we can pretty quickly zoom in. On the 4 hour, you can pretty clearly see as well that we were just demand chaining for a long time, meaning that we are bearish and need more liquidity on the lows until we have taken enough to trade higher again. In here, we also had a pretty big compression, indicating that the market didn't really knew what was going on, and you can only start trading this when either extreme of the compression is gonna be taken out, and then you can trade the other way or trade the breakout if you're gonna manage to gain it. Well, in this case, we started trading lower, taking out, in this case, the all-time low as well. And as you can see, we got a reaction towards the upside because people think, okay, we're at all-time lows, took out a lot of liquidity from the lows. Maybe this is the time to buy up Falcon Finance. Well, the bulls weren't strong enough, and from there we started dumping a lot, even before the Friday crash, instantly making this a supply to reject and trade lower from if you are still bearish on this coin. But after the crash on last Friday, we just kept pumping up and pushing through this supply. What does this supply become? A breaker block, in this case a really big one, where we can hold support from and trade higher. I'm gonna take it out of the chart because I've already indicated it with this arrow to keep the chart more clean, but keep that in mind because on the lower time frame it is also relevant. Right now, before we're gonna get into all this liquidity we have been building up on the highs, we are in a pretty big supply. This is the supply that brought us towards all-time lows the last time, so of course this is gonna be a heavy rejection point. If we want to stay strong and bullish on Falcon Finance, we want bodies candle open and close above this high. Why? This is the last structure pool that brought us towards new lows. So if we're gonna manage to gain this, we got a break of structure towards the upside. This low and this high, we can expect a higher low and a new higher high. Why? This is the last pullback we made before we're potentially gonna gain this high, so then this becomes our low to hold, and in between there we can put in a higher low and a new higher high. So that instantly makes this an interesting demand zone to look at for a couple of reasons. It is your structure low to hold, but it is also the last pullback we made before gaining the high we put in on Friday before the crash, as you can see right here. So that definitely is a demand zone to have in your chart and look at when we're never gonna hold local support zones we are in right now in combination with this old high, because old highs are gonna become the strongest way to continue your trend towards the upside. Then we also created a demand at this high. This was the last demand we put in. This was the last structure pool we put in before we're gonna trade above this high. So pretty much the same story as on this demand. Definitely two higher time frame zones we can look at for more upside. If we zoom in a bit more, you can see that there's not really any support in this whole up move, and this is just all liquidity. That doesn't mean we can just leave this behind and leave it open for another dump, but for that we're gonna have to hold strong locally, because as you can see, in combination with this high to the left right now, we are in a bit of a local demand. This is a pullback that brought you towards this supply, and the last pullback that brought you higher. Right now we are in this. But if we're gonna lose this demand, because we're gonna need more liquidity from the lows to continue our higher time frame uptrend, there's nothing really holding us up. We still have a small demand in here that if we're gonna have enough with these lows, can be your last hold before we are gonna move all the way towards this demand over here. So what would we need to see for more local upside? Well, at least we're gonna need to trade above this high right now, because then this internal trend we have switched from bullish to bearish is getting bullish again, so we can expect more upside. But if we're never gonna manage to trade higher from here by taking out own build up liquidity on the lows, as I said, this demand zone is the next stop. And if we're never gonna hold here, then I'm mainly interested in this demand zone. Okay, but what if that never happens and we're just gonna rip up from here because people are still prepared to buy Falcon Finance? What am I looking at? Of course, we have this bigger supply. We also have a bit of a refined zone in there right here. If we are gonna manage to trade above this and get a pullback into this supply, I'm gonna be interested in looking for local trading confirmations towards the upside, because then this becomes a breaker block just as this has become, and can be a support zone that is gonna bring us higher. But for now we have to be a bit patient. I wouldn't FOMO buy into this project right now, because as I said, we're leaving behind a lot of liquidity on the lows, and we are in a big supply right now which can probably bring us lower. So I want to be patient and wait on local trading confirmations in one of these two demands. And from there I want to take it step by step. First liquidity target right here, second right here, and the third right there. And from there I will see how far we can go, because there also is a supply which can bring us lower right here. I don't want to moon this all the way towards all-time highs, because that just isn't realistic. And this also will be the analysis on FF. If you found this helpful and you enjoyed it, make sure to leave behind a like and subscribe to the channel to be updated on future videos. And then I will see you in the next one. Ciao!